Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. It is Monday, January 12th at 4:45 p.m. There's been a lot of things that have been going on in the NFL and this coaching carousel, and I just wanted to drop some information on to you. You know, the latest, hottest talk in the coaches in the NFL as far as needing a new team is that name, John Harbaugh, the former Baltimore Ravens quarterback, John Harbaugh. He's been all over the sports networks as far as him getting a new team. Hottest name on the presses. Hottest name on the presses, y'all. And John Harbaugh made an announcement last week that he was going to take a couple of days off, basically a week. He was basically letting all the games play out before he decided on what that he was going to interview with. It's crazy. Out of 32 NFL teams, there is currently 8 teams that has a coaching vacancy. 8 teams, y'all. That's the most in history, I believe. 8 NFL teams need new NFL coaches. That's just crazy. Crazy. And the hottest name is John Harbaugh. Now, John Harbaugh, he has been doing some preliminary phone calls. And I'm just not going to just talk about John Harbaugh here. He's been doing some preliminary phone calls. And I'm going to give you what Adam Schefter just dropped. Again, I see it as Monday, the 12th of January, and at 52 p.m. Adam Schefter dropped on his page. He says, while the Falcons announced an official interview with former Raven coach John Harbaugh, he has already been conducting preliminary and extensive phone calls with the Giants, the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Arizona Cardinals, per his inside sources. John Harbaugh is trying to determine who to meet with later to make a decision on where he wants to interview to possibly take over a new NFL team as the head coach. So even though there's 8 teams that's called upon John Harbaugh for an interview request, he has not gave anybody a concrete confirm, I will come and interview with your team. You know, there's all kinds of speculations on what John Harbaugh's conditions are, but I'm not even going to go into speculations. We'll hear that when the news breaks out. But the reason why I put that, you know, the search for NFL coaches that is taking a twist. The head suitors for the Cleveland Browns is 1, John Harbaugh, 2, Jim Schwartz, who's already the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, and then Mike McDaniels, who's been fired from the Miami Dolphins. And people may say, why would they want Mike McDaniels when he really wasn't doing good with the Miami Dolphins last year? Well, Mike McDaniels, he was already with the Browns as one of their assistant coaches, I believe back in 2020. So that's why they're bringing him in now that he's got some more seasoning and became a head coach. They're bringing him back in. Now, they may say they called him in to be for possible head coach, but he's actually he was at the Cleveland Browns facility organization today and did an in-person interview. News hasn't broke yet on how that interview went and if he'll get a second interview, but they may be calling him in, McDaniels, former head coach. If by chance you get the head coach position, the offensive coordinator position. Mike McDaniels is definitely known to he was the head coach in Miami Dolphins, but he was also calling the plays for Tua. Miami's Dolphins offense was doing good when Tyreek was in there before his injury. But the news, another post broke where they said that if the Cleveland Browns, wants to keep their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz was the previous head coach for the Detroit Lions. He had a so-so career there. He's really been excelling as a defensive coordinator. The Cleveland Browns has the top three defense teams in the NFL. They already gave in-house interview last week, but the plot has now thickened. Ravens fired Jim Harbaugh. Browns interviewed their defensive coordinator to take over the position. And now listen to this, hot off the press. The Baltimore Ravens has just put in a request for Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, to go and interview for the head coach position. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The plot is, dude. If Jim Schwartz goes and interviews for the Ravens, which I think he will do, he got to keep all options open. The Ravens may give Jim Schwartz the head coaching position and steal Jim Schwartz away from the Cleveland Browns. And then they may lose they fired Kevin Stefanski and they could possibly lose the defensive coordinator. That would just be crazy, y'all. That would just be crazy. And this is Fred. He posted on X. Fred Gratham. He said the Browns might need to make a decision if they want to keep him. The Browns may need to make a decision quick if they want to keep the defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz. It says that the Baltimore Ravens have requested to interview Browns defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, for their head coaching job. It says Schwartz also interviewed for the Browns head coaching position, and the team doesn't want to lose him. AFC North rival. Boy, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. I just needed to come on here and drop that hot news. So Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, who's with the Cleveland Browns, has already interviewed the Cleveland Browns position. Mike McDaniels, who was the coach for the Miami Dolphins, who was fired by the Miami Dolphins, has now interviewed today, Monday, with the Cleveland Browns. And then Harbaugh has to make up his mind out of the 8 teams that requested for an interview. Harbaugh has to decide which teams that he's going to confront where he will do a face-to-face interview. Now, I have another, bear with me. I have some percentages on who might land as the Cleveland Browns' next coaches. All right. There's also, I'm going to name some other names that the main 3 coaches I spoke about so far is Mike McDaniels, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Jim Harbaugh, former head coach for the Browns, and of course, Jim Schwartz, the current defensive coordinator for the Browns. But do me a favor again. I'm Double P, host of Premier Sports Talk. I also had my thumbnail. I launched a new channel at Premier Sports Media for you. It's in the bottom right corner of my thumbnail. And then it's also in the description at Premier Sports Media for you. If you can do me a favor, my goal is to do all my live content and all my live collaborations on my new channel at Premier Sports Media for you. Currently on the path to getting 4,000 subscribers. I want to thank you all for blessing the channel and being a blessing to me. And it is my prayers and hopes that you receive blessings back double fold. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you who have tapped into Premier Sports Talk. But I launched a new channel at Premier Sports Media for you. I need you to go and subscribe there for me so I can kick it with you on the new channel. Hey, hit that thumbs up button. Drop your comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm going to give you the percentages of these coaches. Now, these are all the people that the Cleveland Browns has put in requests with. And like I said, some of them have already interviewed personally with the Browns. Mike McDaniel, which is crazy that when I just pulled this up off of X, also known as Twitter. It says, Mike McDaniel, formerly the Browns head coach, is the lead candidate to take over for the Cleveland Browns. Wow. He has a 24% chance of becoming the Cleveland Browns' next coach. Dan Pritchard, who is currently the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, he has a 17% chance of becoming the Browns' next head coach. Everybody want to say, who is this Dan Pritchard? He's the current offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. He has ties with Andrew Berry, the current GM, in the past. John Harbaugh, who has not confirmed that he's going to even come interview face-to-face with Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam, there's a 14% chance. But he has been in long telephone interview calls with the Cleveland Browns. That has been confirmed. Then 12% chance. The name here is Nathan Skeles. Nathan Skeles. He is the Rams' former offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. And then Jim Schwartz. I'm just shocked by this. He only has 11% chance of becoming the Browns head coach. He's already with the Browns, but his percentages may have dropped because the Baltimore Ravens is calling on Jim Schwartz. What do y'all think? Stay in Cleveland and stay as the defensive coordinator, or jump ship, go to your AFC North rival, become the head coach for the Baltimore Ravens, and rock with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson? Oh boy. If the Browns want to keep Jim Schwartz now, Jimmy Haslam's going to have to up the ante and put some more coins in Jim Schwartz's pockets. Again, I just wanted to drop this live post here to you. It's Monday, January 12th, 4:58 p.m. Some hot news dropped. I didn't want to do it short. I wanted to come on here live again. Thank you for blessing Premier Sports Talk. Hit that thumbs up. Drop your comments. Share with somebody. I always try to give you the latest and the greatest. And then most importantly, be a blessing. Like I said, it's in my description of this live video post, and it's also on the bottom right-hand corner at Premier Sports Media for you. Tap into the channel, and I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a blessing, and most importantly, be a blessing to someone's path you cross today. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.